Time to talk about it. Chapter 5 is here in 11 days. That's insane. Did I make this a decent size? It's a size. Let me check how it looks on. Oh, it's okay. It's fine. I'll take what I can get, you know. Also, new no cam and a new profile picture that I made at like 2 a.m. for I don't know what reason. I was just like, I think I should make something new. So yeah, it looks a little different. But yeah, Chapter 5 has been announced at the Nintendo Direct. I called it. I'm not gonna let it get to my head. Yeah, big shocker. So stuff for this that I wanted to talk about kind of quick. Let me get my thoughts in order. Not that they'll ever be in order. Where do I even start here? First of all, the sprout was so cool. I think that's one, genius, two, just so funny. And also the response under the Blue Sky post is like, can't believe they added Floridians to the game. It's like, yes, Florida. Oh, I'm over the captions. Why are captions just not on the top, actually? Let me fix. Okay. Welcome, Florida, to Deltarune. Okay. First of all, I have some stuff at the bottom. I think we'll talk about that first, actually. I thought, and I guess I was under the impression that if we were getting, like, the field of pink and gold, and with some of the stuff they had hinted at that Asgore liked, whether it was featured in the game or it got removed from the game, that we'd be getting something a little bit more, Western, so we may see some of the, like, stuff they got rid of brought back. I am not unhappy with what I'm seeing. This looks so good. I would be happy with either. I love that we got this. But no, like, I went and got the pictures of the, like, the proof that he has, like, the country CDs, and then it's, like, hinted at, I believe, in the removed board 3 that he liked Western Puppet Show, but that also got canceled. So it's like, I don't know, I thought maybe that would be what we were getting, but I don't have any issue with this. And I do believe it's, one, a reference to the comics that Alphys lends him, and also an Undertale reference to being like, yo, we need to explain to Asgore what anime is. So I do think that's kind of what we're getting. I still don't know about how the 7 flowers are gonna work. I'm not even gonna try to figure that out. I'm just gonna let that happen. My brain's not big enough for that. But no, it looks beautiful. I'm excited for it. I do have the feather with Gerson, because I do believe that's supposed to be the Pen of Hope. It could be something else entirely. It could just turn into someone we fight. It could be a boss. But I don't know. I feel like the writing has led up to it being something else. The attack pattern, I noticed it immediately and like audibly just went, shut the fuck up. and then was blown away by the rest of the trailer, and then went, wait a minute, what did I see in the trailer that I was taken aback by, and then didn't remember until I saw someone else react to it. So, however, the only time we've seen certain, to my knowledge, the only time that we've seen very certain character attacks is with the knight. However, there's no one on the other side of that screen. Now, it wouldn't be the first time that they've edited stuff for a trailer. The last time they flipped the way Chris is running, well, Chris and Susie were running, they did stuff for the other trailers. To say that the person is blacked out wouldn't be, like, they've done some misdirects, so I won't put it past them to have done something. But it seems like that could be what's happening, especially since, again, we've got the freaking knives. But that doesn't match the style of the knives that we've seen, so. Unless we're finally seeing what the frick the knife is. Toby's like, oh god, they've got so many theories about the knife. Here we go. Just give them something. So they shut up. I love Newbert. I love what Newbert's got going on. I love these little guys. The Floridans look so good. I don't see anything here that I don't like. However, the post, if you didn't see it, the post with the newsletter and then reading the newsletter, after this, my soul's prepared to be crushed. I don't know what to think from there. If you didn't see the newsletter and you don't want to know what's in the newsletter, mute for the next 30 seconds to be safe. But TLDR, Toby basically is like, hey guys, this is like the last happy moment before the storm hits. Just so we're all aware. It's like just before shit hits the fan. It's like, oh, thanks. I'm so glad you told us this. I feel like we're gonna. I had a guess, and then I was like, wait a minute, no, there's no way that works. I had a guess that they were doing like no night or not night content, blah, no weird route stuff on the odd chapters, because in 1, what you do doesn't affect anything. In 3, what you do doesn't affect anything. So it's like, okay, in 5, what you do won't affect anything. But literally in 4, you set up the festival was affected. So I'm guessing there has to be something in 5 no matter what. I would be very surprised, because I realized I was like, I have to do the rest of the weird route. I started a weird route run. It's like, I have to finish that part. I have to do 5 normal and 5 weird route. I'm not looking forward to doing weird route for 5. I almost, if I'm so honest, I almost want to stop. Not because I don't think it's... Okay, not because I think it's like a huge moral failure or anything to do a weird route run. I think there's like really interesting like twists to the story if you do the weird route. I think because it's just so not the way that I want to play the game, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this. But I know there's more to the story when you do the other part of it. So I may just hold off for a very long time and then do it. I don't know. I'm also trying to figure out some stuff with how the Knight's gonna play into this chapter. I'm really glad we didn't see Roaring Knight in the trailer for this. If we had seen the Roaring Knight into the trailer for this, 1, I would have been shocked. 2, I think that would have been weird. I don't think the Roaring Knight is a main focus, if I'm so honest. I think the Roaring Knight is just there to be a pain in the ass. If that makes sense. Like, you don't see Carol. Carol's obviously a huge part of why certain things are happening. We've just confirmed that in chapter 4. But she's not in the trailers. We have a lot of like important people that aren't like in the trailers. I think it's interesting that we haven't seen really Noelle in the trailers either. They're like, here, in our rewinds we'll focus on Tenna and Spampton. I do still have not hope for my theory, because I do think it's really being set up that it's Des. And another streamer on here pointed out when they were doing like theory stuff. So I want to fully say this is not my original idea. This is like theirs, and I think it's great. They pointed out that they believe in like early versions of Deltarune that the knight was set up to be Asriel, and then while like developing, it's like, oh wait, we kind of already had Asriel be really important in Undertale. It's kind of going to be really obvious if we do that again. So let's just shift it to someone else. And I feel like, and all the points I made were excellent for why this works, but I feel like the biggest point is that there's certain like aspects of the knight and attacks of the knight that are absolutely, everyone's like, oh yeah, that's Asriel's. That's Asriel's. It's like, yeah, that, I feel like they literally just ported it over and were like, let's not even change it. And I feel like that only works if the knight is Des, which makes sense, or if the knight has relation to Chris. Not just like, oh, we're working together. The knight is something Chris owns, or in some capacity is Chris. I do not believe, I don't buy this, and I don't like this. I don't believe there's a soul in the knife, and that's a thing. I believe if the knight is the knife is just the knife. The soul in the knife doesn't work for how any of the writing's gone, and before anybody's like, but Flowey, that's two different things. That's two different things. They show up differently. They're not the same. They don't have similar goals. At least, not that it's been revealed. The knight and Flowey, I think, would absolutely hate each other. It would piss each other off. I don't think they're like compatible or like comparable in this instance. I don't think there's a soul in the knife, and that's the thing. And the idea, another idea, that like the knight can only travel when it's dark, I really, really like. Until we get to the idea that the knight made the Dark World in Chapter 2 and hid in the closet, because they can fit in the closet. A very large person could fit inside. How did they get out? They can't leave the library. It's afternoon. It's sunny out. There's light. So they didn't make that Dark World. Unless they made it at night opened the closet to throw everybody off, which doesn't make sense, and just left. I still hold that the knight is the knife. Someone else takes Undyne. Because Susie, again, doesn't say she sees the knight. She says she sees someone down there. Which tracks more to me. But, again, I could be very wrong, and I'm prepared to be very wrong. I think Chris has made every dark fountain, with the exception of Susie's. Which explains why, when you have two fountains together, we already have the little dust sprite spawning in the first Dark World. And they're, like, chasing you, and why it's too dark. It is literally the darkest Dark World we've seen. And why they're in Susie's world as well. Because otherwise they would have been in the other Dark Worlds. Two Dark Worlds together has created an imbalance. Plus, Chris is the only one who has the time during the power outage to go do that, because Carol's heading home, but we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, so that's, like, the extent of my thoughts. I think this looks cool. I'm so excited. I'm hoping that because this is, like, supposed to be, like, let's have a good time, I'm hoping this is, like, a really good time chapter that's long. I'm hoping he's not clowning us and that it's just a bunch of feels and sad. Not that I don't want feels, but I don't want to do, like, I don't want to go into it where him already being like, oh, it's a good time, and then it's like, bro, you just ripped out my heart and stomped on it. Kiss the brick before you throw it. But yeah, that's the extent of my thoughts in the way that I can convey them. I'm really not going to try to figure out what the heck the flowers are doing. I really I really want it to be that they're just there. Toby was just like, now how do I clown on these fools? And just put 7 flowers, and it's like, no, wait a minute. I love the flower pot guy. The flower pot guy's design, they look very cool. I can't wait to learn the name of them. For sure some stuff has to be edited here as well, because the only thing Susie's doing every time, this is weak, but the only thing Susie's doing every time is defending. Susie's defending every time, and you've got, like, a cluster of enemies together that seems not the way that they always, like, their layout seems off. Like, the Floridans is the usual layout. They're, like, staggered on top of each other. The one with Trashy, if you looked at the picture with Trashy, why are they staggered? Like, they're not staggered. They're all just in a line. That's not common. So I think that's edited. I think they threw some misdirects in here because they were like, we're very close. Let them have thoughts. Let them think things. Oh, also, because I will not be able to play it the day of, we're gonna play the day after, unless something goes horrendously wrong. I don't know that I'm gonna finish it the day after, but we're at least gonna start. So Deltarune will be the 25th for me. If anyone horrendously spoils it, I'm gonna start screaming. I will be so sad. My other theory, I can't wait to see if it gets confirmed or if we still just don't know for sure, is that adults can't be awake in the Dark Worlds. Or they're not supposed to enter them anyway, which is part of why Undyne was like zoomed out of the Dark World but still taken. And why Toriel had to be asleep. So I don't think that Toriel was just in the Dark World for no reason. Like, it's like, oh, Toriel's just there. Undyne shows up but does nothing. You know, it's like, I think there's like a genuine reason that the adults aren't doing anything. I think, one, it's a story thing so that the focus is on the kids. Two, I think it's also just a mechanic where it's like, hey, the adults literally can't do anything because the adults didn't do anything. But also, I don't know how that's gonna work. I would love to see if that's confirmed or not, or if I'm just making up shit. Chris, you hit a gas line. But yeah, thanks for watching, being here however you're here. Take care, stay safe, stay hydrated, do something nice for yourselves. Don't know what else to really think or say right now. I'm excited for chapter 5. That's all I got.